Listen closely and relax. Let your mind run free. I bet you all know exactly where you are right now, so welcome to the zoo. The most magical place in the world is not either one of the worlds of Disney. The most magical place in the world is any zoo to have ever existed. There are so many types of zoos out there, and I will tell you about some of them. I want to inform you on some of the creatures that have settled down and started a family in some zoos, and I would also like to tell you about the best habitat in the whole friggin' zoo. So, if you plan on going to see some cold-blooded beasts, you got to figure out what kind of zoo these beasts reside in. If you're a hands-on type of guy or gal, I would recommend a petting zoo where you can get up close and personal. These zoos allow you to physically and emotionally touch these animals. There are also fish zoos. These zoos are commonly referred to as aquariums. These fish zoos give you a salty look under the deep blue. Young boys tend to favor the zoo that contains dragons and slithery things. These zoos are called reptile zoos. And the last type of zoo I'd like to tell you about is the normal everyday zoo. Here's where you can find animals you read about in the National Geographic magazines. Now that you know a ton about what types of zoos there are, I will now inform you on what types of critters and beasts you can feast your eyes upon when you go to any of these zoos. The king of the jungle cannot be seen at just any place. The only place you see lions is in a zoo. They do not exist in nature, believe it or not. Don't be fooled, though. Predators are not the only wild animals you can see in a zoo. You can also find goats and bears, and gorillas and giraffes, and hippos and elephants and monkeys. There are just so many gosh darn animals to see in a zoo. Be careful, though. When you're near the monkey habitats, rumor has it that they throw poop at innocent bystanders, such as you and I. Now, don't you think for even 1 second that you can go to a reptile farm and ride a gorilla, or go to a petting zoo to pet a lion. It just doesn't work like that. You got to make sure you're in the right gosh darn zoo to see the animals you want to see. Now, to my personal favorite part of this speech. When you go to the zoo, what animals do you just got to see? A trip to the zoo just wouldn't be the same without them. I'm talking about those suave little penguins in their natural tuxes, of course. They're the bee's knees, the cat's pajamas, and not only are they the coolest cats at the zoo, but they also got the coolest gosh darn habitat. You get to watch these cute, pathetic, flightless little birds swim and slide and stuff. It's freaking crazy. They don't just stand around like elephants or fling feces at you like those darn monkeys. Penguins just chill out on the ice and eat fish, and that's pretty gosh darn cool. If I could be any animal in the zoo, I would most definitely be a penguin. To wrap this puppy up, I just taught you guys so gosh darn well about 3 things about the zoos. First, I told you about the critters that you can expect to see in a zoo, and the types of zoos that there are. And last, but most definitely not least, I talked about my favorite animal to see at the zoo. And now, with all this zoo talk, don't you guys want to go to a zoo?
Yeah,
I do.
Woo!
Well, I didn't go back.
Hold on.